Hello everybody! After just 7 calendar days from the order placed on GearBest, in promotional discount at 50% plus discount coupon, essentially at €105, shipping and insurance cost included, I got the cleaning robot model 360 C50. Well, they surprised me for the speed with which they made the shipment. It arrived from Germany, so it clearly took less than what concerns the shipment from China. However, 7 days of calendar are really few for GearBest. Let's proceed together with unboxing of this beautiful robot. It's my first economic cleaning robot, and I will try to tell you about my experience because online I did not find anything useful in terms of review, neither in Italian language and even in English I did not find so much information. I found some reviews in Russian, but I had some difficulties to understand, so I will try to show you how it works and I'll tell you my impressions. Let's start. It seems new. What I'm saying is not obvious because sometimes recycled products arrive or in some cases products that have been sent back. So it's a good start. Instructions manual that maybe will look later in more detail. Adapter for the European plug. Okay. Then here is the tank for the washing mode that seems to be new as well. Okay, it seems new, yeah. Then the main device that will be analyzed later. A little bag with some more adapters, and clearly we have the base for charging. Here we have the remote control, an item to clean the device, and batteries for the remote control. I try to unbox everything else, and I'll tell you. The presence of all the adapters I showed you before is because the power supply looks like this. So, in our case, we are going to use the adapter for European plug to be able to use it safely with our domestic plug. Disassembly this adapter is easy because we can just press here and it can be disassembled in 1 second. Let's check from an aesthetic point of view how it looks. Well, it transmits an impression of quality, of stability, and it does not seem classical Chinese stuff because it's not so light. Then it has this soft rubber bar to preserve the shocks that it gives during the cleaning. And in addition to this, it has a shock absorber, as you can see, and it is important because the blows to the furniture will not be too strong. All the moving parts seem solid enough. The tank is already assembled and can be easily removed by simply pressing here. It reassembles just as easily. And in this way can just instead be disassembled the brush. However, in this case I would leave it like this because fortunately, as I said before, it's new and it's already clean. Let's see how it behaves. Let's go to work immediately. Switching to the included manuals, we find a very synthetic one that shows very little information, but above all, what we need is the QR code to download the companion app to use with our devices. The second one that instead it's a small book, so quite big, on the first page even has the QR code to download the app. And then it's written in a series of languages, among which you cannot find the Italian. Now, if you want, you can read all the book, especially for those who have a lot of patience. As usual, I prefer to tinker, so let's try to fool around with the app and configure our vacuum cleaner as it should. I will carry out the configuration procedure with the tablet, simply to show you better the app on a bigger screen. The companion app is a 360 robot. Clearly, you can even configure this app with a smartphone. Let's try to proceed together. So, start the app. I go to create an account. So, unfortunately, the registration via mail did not work, and I had to finalize my registration via SMS. The problem that I found is that I was unable to receive the email for the registration. I was unable to complete the registration. I received the code via SMS, so let's insert it and wait for main page to add a new device. Okay, now we can add a new device. So add the device. Okay, allow everything it is asking. So add the device. Just choose
Noi abbiamo il
C50.
C50.
And now we have to follow all the steps. So switch it on.
Sentite?
Turned on.
Now we can use the remote control, or we can simply press the power on button for 88 seconds. This is a step needed to complete the association between the robot and the companion app. Now I have to select my network. So I choose my network from the list, and I fill in my network password. Now it take a long time, so you need to wait for a while. I'll jump further to avoid this boring clip. Unfortunately, I had some trouble in configuring the app with the tablet. Then I configured it on my smartphone, and as you can see, after adding the device and after waiting a while, you can see that the device has been correctly associated to the app, and you can see the device in device list. Entering in the device screen, you see that there is a map that is completely random because the robot unfortunately cannot get it. And you can see within the tool section that the device must be updated because the firmware is obsolete. So by entering within this section, the tool section, you see that there is the new icon that let you update the firmware. Now, before making the firmware update, I'll show you some nice feature that the robot has. For example, if you lose the robot, maybe under a sofa or if it got stuck somewhere, you can call it pressing the Find Me icon.
I'm here.
So let's proceed with the firmware update. The update is possible only by keeping the device connected to the power supply or to the charging base. After the first firmware update, the device has restarted, and once it's back online, it appears again in Tools section a new icon, and essentially it needs a further firmware update. So let's proceed again as before. I just completed all the updates that the application needed, and we finally arrived in a stable situation in which our robot does not need for further update, as you can see in the tools section. We have not the new icon. Now I'm going to show you the menus in the app and what are the main features that support us for cleaning. So, as you can see on the top of the window, there are three tabs. The left one allows the robot to clean only along the sides of the room. It means that inside the room will not be cleaned, but the robot will only go along the walls and will only clean the perimeter walls of your room or of your house. And at the end of this round, it will return to the base. Instead, the second tab allows you to clean everything, so the robot begins to clean moving in zigzag mode inside the room and then clean only the corners of the room or of the house. Practically, it does what I told you about the first menu after the zigzag cleaning in the center of the room. While the third tab is used for a specific cleaning mode for limited spaces. So, for example, a small space inside the room, and as you can see on the right, you have three items to select for a different kind of cleaning mode. In the first mode, you can place the robot in the center of the room. And as you can see on the screen, the robot will start to clean concentrically for a square of dimension 1.5 meter per side. In the second mode, instead, the space to be cleaned will be smaller, 1 meter per side, and however, unlike the first mode, the cleaning will take place by making zigzag as indicated in the picture. Pressing this further button on the right, we can select to clean twice the same space if it's particularly dirty. Another interesting section is the lower menu. We can see here four different items. The first one is about the status of the robot. Now it's charging. The second one starts cleaning, and it is equivalent to touch the central button or directly on the robot. The third one indicates the cleaning mode. I can say that the quiet mode is silent enough for real, but I think that the best mode is the standard mode. In addition to this, I say that I never used the max mode, and each time we change the mode, the robot will alert us about the new activated mode. Touching the last item, we can open another submenu with some more features. So we can ask the robot to emit sound, we can see the availability of a new firmware. We can check the history of all the cleaning completed. Yeah. We can set a cleaning schedule. As you can see in this screen, we can set some. We can modify some settings. Waiting. Okay. As you can see here, so cleaning mode, repeated time, start time, the power level, and so on. We can also check how long we can use the robot before maintenance. It works for us. And then finally, we we have some more settings in this section. For example, the volume of the robot. As you know, the robot is able to wash as well as sweep, but as you can see now, at the moment, the only available mode is the sweep mode. It's because we are using the sweep filter, so switching to the washing filter, the item that now you see as sweep will change and will enable us the washing mode. Let's start with the cleaning so I can show you how it works. I choose to clean, selecting the first tab in the top menu, so we have to clean simply the sides of the room, and the robot will go along the walls. To start the cleaning, I just need to press the sweep button in the bottom menu, the second voice from the left, and then I press it and the robot realizes it.
Initiating.
This is what you can hear. It is warning me that it is starting to sweep. Let me switch to the video recording. As you can see, it does not crash on the walls rather than on the balcony doors. Instead, I noticed that on the wooden furniture it is less careful because it seems that it detects wooden furniture with difficulty and slightly bangs. And anyway, it beats with the bumper you saw at the beginning of this clip, so we have not significant blows. As you can see here, he cannot see the wooden as he can detect the walls. I don't know why, but sometimes at the beginning he beats the wooden furniture just to understand what is the limit that it has to go along. When it understands that cleaning has finished, it automatically come back to its base, and as you can see, it can reach the base alone. We don't need to drive him to the base, and it happens also if we take the robot, go in another room and make it start in another room. It can coming back to its base alone. Okay, let's switch now in washing mode. We can compare now the two filters, the one for sweep mode and the one for washing. While the one for sweep mode has a tank for the dust, and as you can see, it has a filter too. Let me open it. Wait. It has a filter too, as you can see. Instead, the washing mode filter has the tank for the water that can be filled through this valve,
valvola,
but
ma non
has
ha
nothing for
nulla per
sweeping.
ciò che riguarda
So this can be
l'aspirazione.
used only
Quindi in
and
sostanza questo serve solo ed
exclusively for
esclusivamente per
washing
lavare dopo
after
aver
having
aspirato
sweeped
tutta
the
casa
house using
utilizzando quest'altro filtro,
the
che è
other
quello che abbiamo
filter
visto
that we saw
prima
before. This one.
montato quando l'aspiratore era
So,
il robot
let
era
me
in funzione
fill
per
and mount
aspirare la
the
stanza.
washing
Quindi
filter, so I show you how it works. Washing mode on. In my opinion, it is not enough wet, so I suggest to set the higher wet level for the washing mode. Now I'm going to show you an interesting feature. If you need to start from a different position than the standard base, you have the opportunity to use this joystick that you can start simply by pressing this button on the app. So the robot will respond to the command as you can drive it everywhere you want to start the cleaning. Now I show you how to move it. In addition to what I said before, I want to highlight that the robot is not so stupid as I believed at the beginning, because I ordered to come back to its base without driving it manually, and it can come back to its base automatically. And also, if I start the cleaning in another room that is enough far from its base, it can come back without any kind of help. So let's try to sum up this 360 C50 robot, where 360 is the brand and C50 is the model. It is a fairly cheap model that costs around 100 euros, shipped cost included. In my opinion, it is a very well equipped product because the original package includes, as you have seen, a lot of items. We have the a remote control, we have a dedicated cleaning item. It has the water tank, and its companion app even works more or less correctly. Another good feature is its dimension. The small diameter helps it to clean everywhere, and its autonomy of about 2 hours is good as well. Instead, switching to the bedside, let's start by saying that since the app shows the map of the house, I would have expected that the map were real. However, the map we can see on the app is completely fake, so even if the robot goes around in the house, it will not save any kind of map, and the negative aspect of the map leak is that we have no way to order the robot to clean a single room. The more advanced robots, for example the Xiaomi that I reviewed some times ago, allows you to choose the room that has to be cleaned directly by the companion app. With these robots you can't, so you can schedule a full cleaning, but not just the cleaning of a specific room. Then another thing that maybe is physiological for the price range of this robot is that the robot can only sweep or only wash, but it cannot do both things together. Uh, Personally, I think I'm going to use it just for sweep because I prefer to continue washing by hand. But if you need to do both kind of cleaning, you should sweep before and wash in a later phase. Anyway, for the amount I paid for it, I can only be satisfied, and I cannot ask him much more. If you need a robot with more advanced feature, you should evaluate to spend at least 100 euros more. I suppose more than 100 euros. I'm thinking to the Xiaomi version of similar robots that are in general more advanced.
Well, I hope you like this clip, and I hope it can be useful in your evaluation phase before purchase. Bye, guys.